to another episode of Business Builders Corner. I'm Mary Engelman, Executive Director of the Greater Farmington Area Chamber of Commerce. And for my first guest, I am so pleased to have here Dirk Beamer, who is the Managing Partner of Wright, Beamer and Attorneys.
Hi, Mary. Thanks for having me.
I am so pleased that you can fit us into your busy schedule because it is that time of year for you attorneys. So, did I just say you attorneys? That sounds bad. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you. Obviously, attorneys implies law, but I think that Wright Beamer is a lot more than that. Can you expound on what your law firm does?
Sure, thanks. Yeah, we work with local businesses and local individuals trying to solve the problems that on a daily basis present themselves. So really, we're problem solvers. That's what we do when we do best.
All right, so it could be a broad spectrum of issues that people might have.
Right. On the business side, it may be handling a transaction, negotiating a contract, helping them with employment matters, legal, hopefully not lawsuits, but if that happens, we have to be ready for it.
You're capable of it,
and
that's wonderful.
Sure.
Now, so you're basically a full-service law firm.
That's right. We talked about what businesses do. For individuals, we do their estate planning. We help them if they're buying, selling a home, dealing with those things. Yeah.
Now, you have been a part of this community for a long time, and I think that people recognize you when you're downtown Farmington or if you're in Farmington Hills. How long have you been in Farmington Hills?
Our firm has been in Farmington Hills for almost 22 years now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you started when you were 5?
Something like that.
I have to say that because you age very well.
You're too kind. I grew up out of state, and I'm close to being longer in Michigan than out of Michigan.
Oh, there you go. So now you're officially a Michigander.
That's right.
Us transplants, at certain points, if we've been here for 20-something years, we have to say we're Michiganders.
Right.
So tell me you've talked about this whole buffet that you do for individuals and for businesses. What's unique about your business in comparison to the community?
Well, I think one of the things that our clients like about us is that we are small enough to be accessible, to be available. They know they're going to get the person that's going to help them when they pick up the phone. And yet we're big enough that we can really handle most problems that are going to come our way.
All right. Well, I know for a fact that you have always been an active chamber member. Someone from your law firms for many years has been on our board of directors at the Chamber of Commerce. So how do you find being active and involved in a chamber to benefit your business? Oh,
it's huge. The chamber's been very valuable to our business. Between people with whom we do business, vendors, suppliers, clients of ours or professionals we rely on, most of them are chamber members.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. Well, one of the things, I think you hit the nail on the head. I shouldn't say these little things because I say it wrong, but the reality is that you have built a strong business through the chamber and also by just what you guys offer. Tell me, why is trust so important? I mean, and how does that correlate with lawyers? I mean, you think you want to trust your financial person, but you're a lawyer, you're a law firm.
Yeah, you have to have trust in the people with whom you are bringing your serious problems. And that's why people come to us. There's a problem too big for them. They have to know that we're going to do our very best to keep their interest foremost and find a solution that makes sense for them.
All right. A lot of legal forms online, why can't I just do those? I mean, why can't I just go on and do my will for my children? I mean, why do we need you?
Right. Well, it will sound self-serving, but I will say that a lot of times those forms can cause problems for people.
Really?
I think they've done a nice job of being consumer friendly and making the legal industry respond, but I see two problems with forms. Number one is it the right form to begin with? Because if it's not, you may not realize it as a consumer. Number two, it may be the right form, but then you have user error where someone doesn't fill it out properly. The whole purpose of most business or legal documents is to prevent a problem down the road. That's why you need to take the time, invest the money up front to do it right.
Right, okay, that makes complete sense. So how can lawyers help companies save money? I mean, because you...
Sure, we're a cost.
Right, you're a cost.
We're a cost.
Right.
Again, a big part of what we do is to try to either solve problems or prevent problems.
Okay.
And in most instances, when you have to solve a problem, it's more expensive than had you spent a little bit up front to try to prevent it.
Sure.
That's where the planning comes in, putting the right documents in place, etc.
Okay. What do you most enjoy about your work as a lawyer?
My day is never boring. I'm never looking at the clock to figure out when the day is going to end because something new pops up every day.
I I want to ask you, just going off script here a little bit, how many lawyers do you have in your firm?
We have 6 attorneys in the firm, plus a
right.
couple of other folks who help us from time to time on unique matters, but day to day, 6. Most of whom have a connection to the greater Farmington area.
Right.
Live here, grew up here,
Absolutely.
have kids here.
You know, one of the things that, and it's not just you that I see about town. You know, you see Dwayne, you see Lee, you see your lawyers, and I think that's really important. One of the things that I know, because I've called you just for your expertise on occasion, is just tell me a little bit about the different types. I know that you cover a lot, but you know, are there any specialty areas that you guys have?
Sure. I would say, again, we kind of break it down between what we do for our business clients and what we do for our individual clients. For the business clients, we're going to help them with employment matters, with litigation matters, with handling transactions. For the individuals, we've long been recognized as experts for estate planning. And what does that mean? Wills, trusts, making sure that when it's time, your assets are handled the way you want them to be handled.
And then, you know, obviously this is your business, but why is that so important? I mean, why couldn't I just, you know, I mean, my parents, I'm their child. I mean, doesn't things naturally come to me? Doesn't, I mean, you know, I mean, I'm asking this question
because...
No,
that's a good question. Most people would be surprised if they knew the answer, that it isn't just an automatic where the money's going to go. There's a default statute that's going to control. Most people don't want to rely on that.
Okay.
The important thing about estate planning documents, your trust, your will, your powers of attorney to make sure that someone has authority to tell doctors what you want done.
That's right.
The really important thing that people, I think, lose track of is when you need it, it's too late.
Right. It's almost like it's an insurance thing. You just want to,
that's right.
You know, you're damage controlling now.
Right. So take the time now so it's there when you need it. Yeah.
My parents are in their 70s, but the reality is, you know, they're my parents and they're healthy, but that can change just like that. Or even my husband. Or my kids, or where my kids go if something were to happen. I mean, these aren't things that you want to think about, but what if it happens? I mean, are you going to have family members fighting over them? I mean, all this stuff can, you know, be a big issue.
It's like the old adage, right? There's always going to be death and taxes, so you're kidding yourself if you think it's not going to be a reality at some point. You may as well be prepared, especially for those you love.
Certainly. So, well, I mean, we're getting ready to wrap up. So what would you like the residents of Farmington and Farmington Hills to know about Wright Beamer?
Well, this is our community. You mentioned it. We live here. We play here. We work here. We worship here. The things we do are done here. So it's important to us that when we walk down the street, we can make eye contact and feel good about our friends and neighbors we're helping. We have to do it right for that reason.
I just got chills. That's like wonderful. That's what makes you special and makes you such an important part of the chamber, because you, by living your life that way and running your business that way, it's a great reflection on our chamber. So thank you so much for that, Dirk.
It's our pleasure.
Now tell me your business hours of operation.
We're always going to be open from 8:30 to 5, but also we're going to be scheduling times to meet people's needs throughout the week. Honestly, those hours don't always work for everybody.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, Dirk, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you out there on the street.
Thanks, Mary. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back with our next guest.